Mithrandiel here at PAX West 2017. I am at the Way of the Passive Fist booth from Household Games. Who am I joined by today?
Hi, I'm Jason Canam. I'm the founder and director of Household Games.
All right, so you kind of know what's going on then. I'd hope so.
I hope so, that's right.
Yeah. So tell us a little about this game. It's very very visually striking when I saw the trailer, but for those who might not be familiar, might just be now seeing this game for the first time, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. The way we approach the visual style is I'm a big fan of brawlers. You know, it's an arcade style beat 'em up game. And for me, my favorites in the genre are the licensed arcade ones based off of cartoon and comic book properties. So when I think of the beat 'em up genre, what conjures in my head is Turtles in Time, X-Men, even the Simpsons arcade game. So bright, big characters that are very colorful off of really rich environments. But really, it's just kind of going for that Saturday morning cartoon feel.
Yeah.
The way we design the characters is we design them as heroes and villains from a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, it definitely has that cartoon feel. It struck me more of are you familiar with Fist of the North Star?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
exactly
Fist of the North Star feel for me.
Excellent. I'm really glad that kind of comes through. That actually makes me really happy.
Yeah, I mean, like the larger enemies and like just we took some video and pictures of the arcade machine that you have here actually, and the enemies even remind me of that style. So it definitely comes through. You saw an opportunity for this game, right? Like where was this game born out of?
Sure.
What gave you the idea to make this game?
Certainly. I just feel, initially I just felt that brawlers themselves are an underserved genre. You don't see too many of them. There's actually been a very recent resurgence. There's actually been a lot of them in the past year and a half or so. And we've even had some revivals of classic franchises like Double Dragon, had a retro Double Dragon 4 released this year by Arc System Works. But they're also kind of a stagnant genre where there's not much innovation. Brawlers typically are the same. They follow the same formula. It's one that works, but we kind of wanted to push it in a new direction. And I'm also a big fighting game fan and player myself. So for me, it was really born out of that love of games like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and all kind of Japanese anime fighting games that have those defensive moves, cancels and parries and deflections.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to take that really kind of split-second reaction type gameplay and put that in a brawler setting.
Yeah, and so one of the really unique elements is at the start of the game, the difficulty settings. So, you know, doing the difficulty settings at the beginning of the game where you can choose basically the density of your enemy mobs, how many resources are available and things like that. Tell us a little bit about where that came from and how did you balance that with, you know, not giving too much rope for the gamer, you know what I mean, for them to hang themselves with, so to speak.
Yeah, certainly. That came about by very early in the game's life cycle, even in our pre-production phase. Before we had even built our first prototype, we were working with an accessibility consultant. And we went over a lot of basic things that people think of, like color blindness or control schemes. But he brought light to us that there are certain players that may be differently abled from a cognitive sense, slower reflexes or reaction times. So taking that into account, we kind of thought about it a little bit and we're like, oh, well, let's accommodate the game or put in a setting that can accommodate for someone that maybe has a slightly slower than average reaction time. And then that kind of evolved into saying, well, why don't we take all of the game's elements, enemy HP, enemy density, health packs, and let's let the player control all of that. So we do have a system in place that lets the player individually control game parameters and build their own difficulty setting. So instead of being easy, normal, hard, you can tweak these settings and you wind up with Way of the Everlasting Ardent Traveler, or Way of the Bold Enduring Warrior. And it's unique to each player, and it's really just a customizable and personalized element of the game itself. Like, we just want we'd love for each individual player to be talking online and share their gameplay sessions. Like, oh, well, I like to play on Bold Enduring Warrior.
Yeah.
Well, I like to play on Everlasting Passive Traveler because it gives me that extra edge. And for players that want to practice a particular, like if they want to practice their split-second timing, but they want to do it against weaker enemies, or if they want to be really generous and they want a good flow in combat, they're like, I don't want to face hard enemies, but I want to face a lot of them. So I really want that left and right flow back and forth, because people really like it when they're parrying 2 hits on the left they turn to their right, catch a knife, throw it back, and then turn back around, and that flow is really at the heart of the gameplay.
Yeah, I was noticing that too, like in this level in particular, you know, the desert, well actually the whole planet's a desert wasteland, but the sandstorm element where it kind of gives a screen in front and the battle's kind of taking place behind it, and that sandstorm passes through, it's a really unique visual element, so I think adding that mayhem in the background with the added sort of frenzy of the not quite being able to see all that's going on was a really unique and interesting aesthetic decision.
Yeah, thank you. And actually, I really like the fact that you use the words mayhem and frenzy, because the thesis of the game is literally based around the fact that everyone around you is going crazy. It is mayhem in all directions, but you've got to be the one who stays calm in the middle of it all, and it lives to fight another day.
And that's you're the passive fist.
You're the passive fist, and by staying calm while your enemies are freaking out is literally kind of at the core of the gameplay. You're still going to be standing when they've expended all their energy.
So when can we expect this game, and what consoles will it be coming to?
We're going to be launching same day on Xbox One, PS4, and on Steam. And we're going to be launching in early 2018. As soon as PAX is over, we're going to be moving into our final polish pass in the game. We're going to be getting it ready for launch, and we hope to have it first thing ready next year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jason, so much for taking the time to chat with us about this game. It is amazing. It plays really clean. The visual style is fantastic. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fans when it finally lands.
Oh, that means a lot. Thank you very much for taking the time to play and chat today. Thank you so much.